Hello, ICW fans, and welcome to another classic ICW show review. This particular show I do not have on VHS or DVD. I attended it live. It was titled The Land of the Rising Stars, which took place back on March 15th, 2003, as ICW made its New Jersey debut at the Ukrainian Center in Passaic, New Jersey. And this was like ICW's first show since they shut down in 2000 after Nothing to Lose in August of 2002. But I guess this was like supposed to be like a new breed of ICW wrestlers, or at least in the case promoter Jack Sabbath giving a lot of people a chance, because there were so many who made their debuts on this particular event. We started out with a battle of debuts of tag team action as we saw the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, EC Negro and Casey Blade, do battle with Cash and Chaos, who later renamed themselves K Murda and K Pusha respectively. All Money is Legal, and both teams came out of the LIWF Doghouse, which was run by the late Bobby Lombardi, and these two tag teams really let it rip, and it was a great opening matchup which saw All Money is Legal defeat the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Second matchup, we saw a singles match as we saw making his ICW debut, Johnny Ova, as he went one-on-one with Wayne the Convenience Store Guy. Can't remember too much about this match, but I was very surprised that Wayne the Convenience Store Guy defeated Johnny Ova to pick up the win. And for those who don't know, Wayne the Convenience Store Guy, we know him for those who don't know, is Shane, one of the owners of the New York Wrestling Connection out in Long Island. Next was a singles matchup where the loser had to leave ICW as Damian Dragon, accompanied to the ring by Foxy Dreams, who he eventually married later that year, as Damian took on before he was a cold-hearted player, Danny DeMonto. Can't remember too much about this matchup. I know, like Danny, I don't know if he accidentally fell off the top rope. Something happened. He hit the floor pretty hard, and the match was stopped and basically was declared I don't know if it was a no contest or a double disqualification, and that both men would have to leave ICW. And Harry Slash, who was booking ICW at the time, he took the microphone and told them, if you guys want to come back, then next month's show, you can join the ICW Kiss My Ass Club. Now, for those wondering, neither one of them was on did do that for the next show, so I guess that idea got scratched or something. Up next was another tag team match, which saw actually three debuts and one guy who had already been to ICW in the past, as we saw the Brajols, Mr. Yellow, Joey Brajol, and Mr. Purple, Papalicious, as they took on Ken Scampy and Mega, who were accompanied by Tara Charisma. I can't really remember who won. I mean, I know who won the match, but I don't know if it ended with Mega chokeslamming Joey Brajol. He did chokeslam him, but Scampy and Mega were victorious, and after the match, Papalicious turned on Joey, and I thought Papalicious had potential, and he got booked in a few USA Pro Wrestling events throughout 2003 and 2004, and at one time in 2004, he was managed by the Angry Young Man. I wonder what happened to him. But, I thought that was pretty good, that matchup. And it was a fun match. Scampy and Mega got the victory. Up next was a singles match, which saw Chris Divine take on Prince Nana. Nana, of course, went on to become like a great manager, and he was a tremendous talker. He was a great manager for Ring of Honor. But Nana was still wrestling here, and he actually ended up defeating Chris Divine in a pretty good matchup. Up next was a four-way ladder matchup for the coveted ICW Super Junior or Junior Heavyweight Championship, as going to the show, the champion Lowrider versus Billy the Highlight Real, Reil, Rob Echoes, who later became Robbie E, and Abunai. A very good four-way match. I like this matchup, which saw Billy Real defeat Lowrider, Rob Echoes, and Abunai to not capture, but to win the Super Junior Super J Championship. Up next, they had a battle royal where some of the competitors who competed earlier in the show were in this match. We had Ken Scampy, Mega, Joey Bajol, Papa Licious. I believe All Money is Legal were in this matchup. Team Target, which was Techno Heat and Devious. Low Life Louis Ramos. Skinhead Ivan, who was also known as Crazy Ivan in ECPWA. Who else I remember that is in this match? Oh, Jay Chronic. And I forgot a few else's. But Prince Nana was the eventual winner. But I remember when... Funny thing is, this I forgot to mention, guys, this show was ring-announced by the ICW Jack of all trades, Joe DeLeo, who started out as El Shoes, the heel commentator, and later wrestled as Maximus Sex Power. He seemingly did it all in ICW, except maybe referee a match or manage somebody. Because I remember when Joey Bajol came out, and I think Shoes was having everybody mention everybody's names. They came out for the battle royal, and Bajol, instead of saying his name, he said the winner. But Nana won the match, last eliminating Mega, and this was intended to be a joke or not, but instead of getting a check of money or like a title shot at an upcoming show, Nana's prize was a Ring of Honor DVD, which Mega actually destroyed right before going through the curtain. I don't know. I may have to order this. By the way, even though I don't have this show myself, RFvideo.com has it on DVD, probably converted by now. Let me see. Whoops. Yeah, it's converted DVD. I know it used to be on a VHS tape long ago. From there, in a pretty good singles matchup, we saw Eddie Guapo take on Matt Striker, who eventually ended up in WWE for a time, and Matt Striker ended up defeating Eddie Guapo. I forgot how, though. Then we saw the Grim Reaper take on Tim Arson, who has since passed away. Arson later became the zombie on ECW on Sci-Fi, and Tim Arson actually defeated the Grim Reaper to pick up the win. Then, in a very good three-way matchup, we see Skinhead Ivan, or Crazy Ivan, versus John Walters, who ended up becoming big in Ring of Honor later on, versus Livewire. And Livewire, for those who don't know, he later became Mikey of the Spirit Squad, and he's Mike Mondo currently on Independence. Livewire defeated Walters and Ivan when he pinned John Walters in this triple threat matchup. Next up in tag team action, we saw The Solution, Papa Don and Havoc, accompanied the ring by, was it Miss Michelle? I'm sorry, folks, but not knowing this is a show I have not seen since it took place. Can't remember everything now. I forgot what lady was in their corner. And the returning Boogie Knights, Danny Drake and Mike Tobin, who I believe they had, was it Ecstasy in their corner? Not spelled like the drug, folks. It was spelled with a capital X at the beginning. But Ecstasy and the other lady did get into a cat fight, which prompted a cat fight chant from the crowd. Eventually, the Boogie Knights did win the match, defeating The Solution, but I forgot how they put them away. Next up, in a singles matchup, we saw Mike Cruel, or Mike Kid Cruel, Mike the Shooter Cruel. He went one-on-one with Boogaloo, and Boogaloo had like very nice gear on, and he defeated Mike Cruel to win the match. But I forgot he pinned him with his feet on the ropes. Not gonna forget that. And then the main event of this ended up the main event of the evening because I guess there were some changes made, and I'll try to get to them before this video is over. It was a 6-man tag team match as we saw the King of Old School, Steve Corino, C.W. Anderson, and Guillotine LeGrand. Now, originally the main event of the show was going to be Corino and Mikey Whipwreck one-on-one. Mikey Whipwreck came out by himself, and he said he had some partners. And out came the Christopher Street Connection, Mace Mendoza and Buffy. A pretty fun main event to end the show, and Whipwreck and Christopher Street Connection were victorious. Whipwreck nailed somebody with their whippersnapper to pick up the win, and it was pretty much the fans pretty much sent home happy for that to end that very night. They did do another show in Passaic, New Jersey, which I will have a VHS review about eventually. And but definitely, I forgot to mention the other people who the following did debut on this particular show: All Money's Legal, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Johnny Over, Billy Reel, Rob Echoes, Papa Licious, Ken Scampy, Mega, Eddie Guapo. Grim Reaper, that was his ICW debut. John Walters, Livewire. I think Carino, C.W. Anderson, and Guillotine LeGrand, they all made their ICW debuts that night. I forgot to mention, in the corner of Carino, Anderson, and LeGrand was Simply Luscious, Veronica Stevens. She, of course, was managing Christopher Daniels in Ring of Honor in those days. But this particular show, Jay Lethal was originally going to be on the show, and I think Ring of Honor wanted him because ROH that night ran somewhere in Massachusetts. Michael Shane originally was going to be on this show too, but Michael Shane, for those who don't know, is the nephew or cousin of Shawn Michaels, and real name Matt Bentley, and he was like big in the early days of Ring of Honor and ended up TNA X Division champion twice, I think. I could be wrong if it was more or less. And let's see, other people that were originally scheduled for this show didn't show up. Mike Mayhem, Rue Star, who we know is Pat Buck, who's currently a producer for WWE, and Rain, the aerial assassin Rain, who was known as Rainchild in the early days of Jersey All Pro Wrestling. I mean, this was a pretty good show, even though I don't have a video or DVD, have it on video or DVD. And if our video didn't have this, I wouldn't remember the match order. This was ICW's debut in New Jersey back in March of 2003. So the next ICW DVD review I will have is ICW Uprising, which took place in Passaic, New Jersey, the next month, the following month, and that was a way better show. And I've got, I guess, quite a story regarding that very show. But stay tuned, folks. I'll definitely get around to it, to doing that video, and I'm sure everybody may or may not remember.